Namaskaram. Stories, a reflection of Gita and Vedas. The test of resolve, the wager that shook sage MAREECHI. It was the spring festival in the royal capital. The court glittered with celebration. Nobles filled the hall, and the king sat in grandeur awaiting the performance of his most prized dancer, Kamamanjari. She entered late, radiant, and self assured. Her beauty and poise captivated the assembly. As she walked past, a fellow dancer taunted her. You stride as if you have bound sage MAREECHI to your will. Stung by the comment, Kamamanjari replied boldly, If I can win over sage MAREECHI, what will you stake? My lifelong service as your slave, came the reply. The king, hearing the dialogue between the two, was amused and declared that the wager would be judged at the next spring festival. Near the outskirts of the kingdom, by a quiet river, lived sage MAREECHI, immersed in austerity and meditation. One day, Kamamanjari arrived at his hermitage, appearing distressed and seeking refuge. A group posing as her relatives soon followed, demanding that she return home to marry an elderly man. After briefly hearing both sides, the sage permitted her to remain in the ashram for some more time, intending to counsel her patiently. That was all she needed. She quickly adapted to the disciplined life of the hermitage. Rising early, working diligently, and serving the sage with quiet devotion, she slowly earned his trust. Months passed. Her simplicity attracted the sage, and he was gradually lured by her charm. Meditation weakened, attachment grew. At last, overcome by emotion, MAREECHI expressed his wish to marry her. She agreed on one condition, that he must seek her parents' blessing in the capital city. Infatuated, he consented. Kamamanjari immediately informed the royal court about her visit, which happened to be the spring festival. On the appointed spring festival day, the sage entered the royal court in plain attire, besides Kamamanjari. When the assembly gathered, she revealed his identity and his intention to marry her. The court gasped. Questioned by the king, MAREECHI admitted the truth. Then Kamamanjari reminded the king of the wager. The rival dancer rose and accepted her defeat. Sage MAREECHI was unaware of the wager until then. The bet was won. In that instant, the sage was taken aback in shock, but wisely, clarity struck the sage. He had not been deceived by cunning plot of Kamamanjari alone, but by his own lapse in discipline too. For a moment, anger flared within him, but wisdom prevailed. He understood that the fault was his. Without a word, he left the court. Alone outside the city, he reflected deeply and returned to his hermitage, humbled and resolute to carry on his spiritual pursuit. The story recalls the prayer of the Rigveda Mandala 5, Sukta 51, Mantra 15.
Swasti panthamanucharema surya chandramasa viva punardadatatgnata janata sangame mahi.
The meaning of this mantra is, may we walk the path of auspiciousness and righteousness like the sun and the moon in their ordained courses. May we move in harmony with those who give, who protect, and who know. The Rigvedic comparison to the sun and moon is profound. The key idea is the steadiness. The sun and moon never abandon their ordained course. They move with discipline, harmony, and consistency. That unwavering movement sustains cosmic order. Similarly, spiritual life demands consistency. No dramatic effort, but unwavering continuity. In the story, Marichi had already chosen the path of austerities and righteous path, but he failed to continue walking it steadily, breaking the consistency. His attention drifted, his discipline weakened, and desire pulled him off course. He did not lose knowledge, he lost steadiness. That is precisely what the mantra warns against. The prayer is not merely, let us know what is right, it is, let us walk in it consistently like the sun and moon. So the comparison is simple. The mantra teaches consistency in righteousness. Marichi's fall shows what happens when consistency weakens. His return shows the restoration of the Vedic ideal. The lesson is spiritual life is not destroyed by a moment's weakness, but it depends entirely on returning to the right path without delay. Narayana, Narayana.